Today, I don't know if this is going to be a controversial topic or not, but I am talking about why the training for birth mentality may actually not be helpful. Now, let me tell you, in my first pregnancy, I totally preached training for birth. And there's so many things out there about how labor and delivery is like a marathon, and how you have to train for a marathon, and you need to get strong and be as strong as possible, and all these different things. And I totally gave into that. I worked out, 5 or 6 days a week during my first pregnancy, focused a lot on strength training, and would do kind of longer-ish workouts, 45 minutes to help my endurance and train for labor and all of those things. And the truth is, if we got down to it, my mentality was that if I can control my workouts, if I can control my fitness level and my strength and train for labor, then I will have this great labor that I deserve. I will have the labor of my dreams. I even had so many people tell me when they would see me at the gym or see me working out, like, you're going to have the quickest, easiest labor, like, you're doing awesome, you're so strong. People would tell me that. And it kind of fed into that control place that I really wanted. Fast forward to my first labor and delivery. I had to get induced. I did not go into labor naturally. And I literally was at the hospital for 3 days before my baby was born, just laboring. So, didn't get the labor of my dreams. It was fine, and I'm fine with how everything happened. But at the same time, if you look at it, it doesn't match up with someone who was really, working on their fitness, lifting weights, getting strong, working on endurance, training for labor, to then have the experience that I had. And after that, I really had to question that mentality and that way of thinking. And now going into this second labor and delivery, I don't know if y'all know this. I've been talking about this some on social media, but I actually haven't worked out since I was 20 weeks pregnant. So the last 14-ish weeks, 15 weeks, I haven't worked out. I've been prioritizing rest, been sleeping as much as possible, been trying to avoid the heat, just been trying to nourish myself and take time to rest and recover, because I feel it. I feel the need to really pull back, and I'm taking care of a toddler, and there's just so many other factors that go into it. And actually, I was telling my midwife yesterday, going into this labor, I have a different mentality. And now that I know a lot more about your core and your pelvic floor and how labor and delivery works, honestly, my labor last time lasted so long, I think, because I had a tight overactive pelvic floor. And that was probably caused from all the strength training I was doing and the way that I was doing it. That's key too. So this time I'm really leading up to the birth, focusing on relaxation. I'm focusing on relaxing the pelvic floor more, relaxing my core. That's going to be, from what I know and what I've researched and what I've seen, probably more helpful for labor and delivery than trying to exercise the baby out. So there's a few reasons why I say that maybe the training for birth mentality is not that helpful. Number one is that actually learning to relax during labor and delivery and relax your pelvic floor, which if we're working out a lot, and we're not working with a coach who is trained in this, then we tend to hold a lot of tension in our pelvic floor. That might be your tendency. And so might actually be working against you in that. Secondly, I always say that if you want a fit pregnancy, then really work on your fitness before you get pregnant. And so I find that your fitness level actually before you get pregnant is really what's going to be more important than what you accomplish during pregnancy. Because the truth is, you're not going to make any gains during pregnancy. It's just how it is. You're trying to maintain and you're trying to move and work out in a way that feels good and that supports what you need in this season. But the truth is, you're not going to make like gains when you're pregnant. You're not going to get stronger. And so, if you're looking to get pregnant and want to be healthy and strong in your pregnancy, then I would say start before you get pregnant. Like, get a workout program before. That's going to help you the most with your strength and endurance during pregnancy and, maybe into labor, delivery, postpartum. Let's see. Okay, third, I think that's where we are. I find that in this chapter that mentality is key. And sometimes we just have to question, like, thinking, okay, if I'm really, let me see, how do I want to word this? If I'm really obsessive about this, and if I really am pushing myself to get these workouts in, and if I'm, really thinking like I can get what I want if I do these certain workouts and all these things, then we're kind of doing ourselves a disservice and maybe setting us up for disappointment if things don't go our way, because the truth is there's a lot out of our control. And no one can guarantee you the type of labor you want or the delivery of your dreams, unless you want a C-section, then yes, you can go schedule that in. But no one can guarantee you, this fast, quick, awesome labor where you just pushed for 5 minutes because you're strong. You can't control that. No matter how fit you are, no matter how many weights you lift, all those things. And so I think we have to question, are we feeding into that mentality that might set us up for disappointment later? Or can we have a healthier mentality that says, I'm going to control what I can, I'm going to feel good in this season, and go in that direction, and I release these things like labor, delivery, postpartum recovery that are kind of out of my control right now. Also, another factor, number 4, is that we forget that after labor and delivery, you're going into newborn phase, the 4th trimester, which is a very tiring season, that you're not getting a lot of sleep. And so I experienced this a little bit where if you're working out every day leading up to your labor and delivery because you're trying to work out your baby, you're trying to train for labor, then are you going into the 4th trimester rested and recovered? Are you going into your labor and delivery recovered and rested? Because honestly, being rested is going to help you probably more, not only in your labor and delivery, but also after you have this baby. And so when do we actually need to start pulling back as we get closer to labor and delivery so that we can be rested and recovered and go into that experience, not already tired and exhausted because our body's just been working so much. So those are just some thoughts on maybe why the training for labor mentality is not the best. I would say really switch your mentality. I'm not against working out in pregnancy. Obviously, that's what I do. I train women in that, and I love and support a healthy pregnancy. But I think our mindset is key, and how we work out is key. Not only just what we do, but how we do it. And so having someone help you and guide you in that, learning about your core and pelvic floor health, remembering that pregnancy is just a short season. It really is a short season in the grand scheme of your life. So if you do have to pull back during pregnancy, it's not the end of the world. You can always work out later in life. It will always be there for you. And just we don't have to put more pressure on ourselves in this season of pregnancy by saying, I have to get to the gym and train for labor and be this strong pregnant woman. Maybe we need to get rid of that mentality or reframe it and say, okay, how can I move in a way that's going to make me feel good? And how can I prioritize rest and recovery and what my body and what this baby needs? So I hope this made you think. If you're so mad at me right now, then let's talk about it. If you agree, let's talk about it. So would love to know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you've had any experience with this mentality and how your labor and delivery went.